I'm Squidward, 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 Squidward.
Welcome back, everybody. I still don't know what to call myself, so I'm still gonna go by Zach. And we are back at the Bikini Bottom in the Sims 4 project. Woo! Today is Squidward Day. Last time we did SpongeBob. Definitely go check that out on my channel. I do believe I have a playlist of the Bikini Bottom in The Sims 4 content that I've been creating. This is just the second episode though, but there's much more to come. So today we're making Squidward, and Squidward I made jealous, a music lover, an art lover, and his life goal is to be I believe a writer. Now, originally, I turned him green, but then I found this blue shade that really matched his skin tone, so we went with that, gave him lots of wrinkles, made him look as cursed as possible, because that's what this series is all about. So that nose makes me want to throw up, but it's okay. So he looks like an alien at many points in this process, but I got him to this point and left him here all for the glory. And now, since this is all base game, all of these builds are going to be base game, I don't really have a shirt that matches his very well, so I did the best I could, and it kind of looks like a prison outfit, so look out for Squidward's tentacles. He's on the run from the cops, y'all. I gave him a few outfits, but, you know, there's nothing like that OG prison outfit. I gave him those pants that match his skin color, too, so that they kind of blend in, because he doesn't wear pants in the show, but I wasn't going to make him run around in underwear. I'm already making him run around with no shoes on most of the time.
Squidward.
Editing those in, those little Patricks in, I watched that so many times that it still takes me out every time I see it. But this is gonna take on many shades throughout this video. It's gonna go through several changes, and I even cut out a few of the changes. We end up with 3 stories, but I started at 3 stories, took it down to 2 stories to match SpongeBob's house, which you can see right next door, just like in the show on the right there. But I wanted to do 2 stories to match SpongeBob's house, so I changed it to 2, but then it just didn't look right, so we go back to 3, but you'll see me go through all 3 of those iterations. I found a door that was wooden. It's the same door that I used on SpongeBob's house, except I used the version of it that has like the gargoyle door knocker instead of the lion. I used the lion on SpongeBob's house. Now here's the thing about Squidward's house. You only see a couple of scenes that are in his house besides his bedroom. I mean, you see his bedroom a few times in the series, but other than that, you really only see his living room a couple of times and his bathroom. Those are really the only places in his home that you see that I could find anyways. So I had to take several liberties in this build. The SpongeBob one I feel like is a little bit more accurate to the show. This one, like I said, I have to take a few more liberties in the build to make it fit and match, but in the end I think it turns out really good, and I feel like it really works for The Sims 4 and this interpretation of it. Now that lot on the left in the show, to the left of Squidward's house, is Patrick's house. In the next video, I'm gonna go in depth with some more of the plans of this save, because I do want to expand more than just, you know, a couple of the people. I want to do like jellyfish fields and even the Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket and several of those places. You will see those coming, but in the next video we'll be discussing that after I build Patrick's house, because Patrick's house is so simple. Now in the front of Squidward's house, you see I have those paving stones. I used rugs sized down. Those don't end up staying because I have to resize the entire building. You'll see in just a second. So I end up deleting those. That's why I kind of skip talking over that, but I do love that idea. I did want to match that to the show, so I ended up using floor tiles, which was suggested by my partner. Thank you. And originally I wasn't going to use the floor tiles, but when I had to resize the entire building and make it much fatter like that, she threw and take her up another floor once again, like I said, right there. Yeah, once we did all of that, the floor tiles definitely fit better. Now on the inside, there's only really like one angle of the bottom floor that we see. And as you can see, I've been putting the pictures up in the top corner of the areas of the building that we've been working on, just like in the SpongeBob video. Again, if you haven't seen that, definitely go check that out on my channel. We do SpongeBob and his pineapple. Now, since Squidward hates SpongeBob, I have sort of gone in the game a little bit and played with that relationship and developed it into a little bit of a hatred for each other. It's hard to do a one-way hatred, but there is an interesting dynamic there. I will be definitely trying my best to work on friendships and how people are connected in this show. But there you can see I have the one angle of Squidward's main floor that we get in the show. I feel like I matched the furniture and the floor plan really closely, as close as I could, to the show, and I feel like I matched it super well. Now, there is a couple things that are going to change at the end. When I uploaded it to the gallery, I had forgot to playtest it, and I had forgot to place a couple of furniture items, such as the TV and something about the fridge needs to be fixed. So just be warned, if you do download this off the gallery, there is going to be a couple modifications you may want to make. I zoomed in on the kitchen so that you could see that a little bit better as I work on the little kitchen area over here. I feel like I got it to match extremely well. The only change I had to make was add this stove right there, because there's not a stove in his kitchen that I could notice. Now, I mean, they are under the water, but in The Sims you need a stove to cook. Right there. So I put the cabinets above the top of the kitchen, and they look great, but the one that is glitched into the refrigerator hinders it from working, so you have to delete that and replace it with just a normal cabinet above it. But it's super easy to do. I believe that's the only thing that didn't work just out the gate, and then I just didn't place the TV. Now I brought back the original photo here. You see I add a pendant light to match the show light that Squidward has over his table. And then in front of his window, he has like a little show or, coral piece. So I put a cactus not a cactus. I put a kind of spiny plant with a pot that matched the same color that was in the image there. Got the walls to match, made a custom flooring by rotating the floor tiles, and then added the two the two photos on the side wall to match again with that photo. Now, one of the few other rooms that we see with Squidward's house in the show is his bathroom. He has the smart toilet, and I remember this episode decently well, and I know Patrick stank that toilet up, and I feel so bad for the toilet, but we get a couple shots of that bathroom and of the smart toilet. So I put two bathrooms in Squidward's house, but they're both the exact same, so I cut out making the second one because I literally just copied everything from the first one to that second one. But I put the really expensive smart toilet and then the bathtub with the shower curtain to match the show next to a window. You don't see this window from the outside very easily, so I went ahead and added it because it's in the show, but you don't see that in the show on the outside of the building, but I just left it since it was hard to notice. For the top floor, we do get this shot of Squidward's house that is like a hallway shot, and it didn't fit anywhere else in this build, so because I had an extra floor in the middle, I put the hallway in the middle. I figured that made the most sense. It isn't like a T-shaped hallway. As you can see in the back, it kind of takes a left and a right. I just made it end in the back with the door to a closet in the very back of the hallway. That was the best way I could get it to fit in. I put his art studio to the left, and I put like a study book library area with a computer on the larger room on the right. And like I said, there's a little closet in the back with some jackets and coats and I think some shoes or something. I also gave him a violin because Squidward plays clarinet in SpongeBob. We don't really have the clarinet instrument in The Sims 4, so I changed it to a violin. I figured that was the most similar, the best option, and I gave him the handmade violin. It's gonna produce like the worst skill, the worst song possible. I felt like that would match the vibe of Squidward Tentacles. Now we are finally at the top floor, and the top floor is going to undergo a few changes, a couple alterations, but there's going to be a bathroom, a little landing with the stairs, and then the bedroom that you see a few times in the show. Squidward usually plays his clarinet out of the windows of his bedroom, which are like the eyes of the Tiki head, so I put his violin in the bedroom where the eye hole windows are. I carried the same wallpaper up for the landing, but I put the blue wallpaper in his bedroom and changed the flooring to match the photo. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, we'll be doing our good friend Patrick Star in the next video for this series. So I will see you guys later. Peace.
People, settle down. Okay, now, how many of you have played musical instruments before?
Do instruments of torture count?
No.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Horseradish is not an instrument either. That's fine.